It was a quiet evening in Columbus, Georgia. An elderly farmer in his 50s was driving his pickup truck through a neighborhood near the Chattahoochee River, hauling feed. Suddenly, the truck collided with a 300-pound wild hog, slamming into the hood and bending the metal. This was not a quiet country road, this was Columbus, and wild hogs were taking over the city streets. Did you know that wild hogs are now ravaging 35 states, causing more than $2 billion 0 cents in damage each year? In Columbus, they're a full-blown menace, tearing up lawns, smashing fences, and now crashing into vehicles. Just last week, a wild hog destroyed a park on Warm Springs Road, leaving behind piles of dirt and broken benches. These beasts, some weighing up to 400 pounds, reach speeds of 30 miles per hour. For those watching in Columbus, it's the reality of surviving an attack, then hunting down these monsters to save your city. To stop these invaders, you've got to hunt them where they strike in the city and do it legally and fast. Hunting is real, and Georgia has you covered. A hunting license costs $15, 0 cents for residents, up to $65, 0 cents for non-residents, with no season and no gun limit. In Columbus, you have to coordinate with authorities to ensure safety and legality. The farmer, who applied for a permit, used a .308 rifle to bring down wild hogs with precision. What's the best time to hunt urban wild hogs? In the fall and winter, they forage for food in city parks and alleys. Hunting wild hogs in Columbus, Georgia requires a strategic shift from city streets to open country fields, and for good reason. Urban neighbourhoods are a hunter's nightmare, with narrow streets surrounded by homes, strict noise regulations, and the constant risk of missing shots making hunting in the city a no-go. In the fields outside Columbus, the game changes for hunters with open space, clear lines of sight, and the annoyance of city laws. Hunters start with a 3.5/8 rifle, the boom echoing across the fields, taking down a 3.5 50-pound wild hog. With a single well-aimed shot at 100 yards is a quick shot that clears the neighbourhood of the threat. But rifles are noisy, attracting attention even in rural areas. So authorities switched to a quieter weapon, a 70-pound compound bow. Bow hunting trades noise for stealth in rural fields on the edge of suburbia, where silence keeps things discreet. Unlike the power of a rifle, a bow requires you to get as close as 30 yards or less to test your skills. The farmer sets up camp on a tree stand perched high in an oak overlooking a field off River Road, where wild boars attack at dusk. The hunter waits, eyes fixed on a clearing baited with corn. A 300-pound boar enters, burrowing beneath, oblivious to the danger above. A steady shot lands with precision. Hunting isn't the only way. There are humane options. Residents can protect their property by locking trash cans, removing pet food, and installing motion-activated lights. A neighbourhood near Columbus State University cut wild visits in half with strict trash disposal rules. Reporting wild hog sightings to the DNR produces a quick response. One call on Midland Road led to a trap that caught 3 wild hogs in a week. Farmers have joined a group that traps, baits and shares tips at community meetings. More than 100 residents now report wild hog sightings weekly, helping Columbus stay ahead of the curve. I'm standing in the heart of Texas, where the sun burns hot and the fields are under siege. Wild hogs, wild beasts tearing through our crops. Last month, they destroyed 50 acres of my soybeans overnight, costing me $30, 0 cents, 80,000 in losses. These ain't barnyard hogs. They're monsters breeding faster than we can stop them, with over 2.6 million roaming in Texas. I'm taking you inside the most desperate wild boar hunting mission mouse farms ever faced. Are you ready to see how I fight back against these invasive species? Why Texas? This state's got the biggest hog problem in the US. Perfect climate, endless food, no natural predators. Texas laws on our side, no hunting license needed on private land with the owner's nod, and we can hunt 24/7 year round. Are you ready to see how I fight back against these invasive species? Because what you are about to witness is not your average wild boar hunt. It all starts here, deep in central Texas, and I'm crouched low in the hunting blind, waiting for the wild hogs to show up. The wild hogs are out there, tearing up my soybean fields, leaving only mud and rubble behind. The law allows me to hunt them from UTVs, even helicopters, but today I'm keeping them grounded with modern technology. My drone is scouting their movements overhead, its thermal camera detecting a sounder of up to 20 wild hogs. Their heat signatures showing me the location and saving me time in the hunt. I'm talking about a $2,000 0-sense thermal scope on my rifle, allowing me to see them as clear as day even at a distance of 200 yards. This is wild boar hunting in the 21st century, high-tech, tactical, and necessary. It's not just a sport out here, it's a battle for the land, and every successful hunt means fewer hogs, destroying our farms and threatening our way of life. Let me show you just how clever and dangerous these wild boars are. One wrong move and they're gone. I've got a $1,500 0-cent steel trap baited with corn connected to a motion sensor that alerts my phone when it's triggered. Last night, it caught 5, but there's a 250-pound boar leading the pack, dodging every move I make. As I adjust my scope, I know that one missed shot could cost me another acre. Have you ever felt like your entire livelihood is being stolen by wild hogs? It's slowly replacing hunting dogs? If you agree, hit that like button. After days of close calls, I knew I needed a better strategy. As you know, the terrain in Texas is quite complex, and wild boar hunting here is unlike any other. Hunters use cutting-edge AI and pheromone traps, which are second to none in the state. During the hunt, I highly recommend going with a team of 5. One wrong move can turn into a disaster. The Texas Trophy Hunters Association requires a 95% accuracy rate to effectively limit the wild hog population. A wave of terror is sweeping across the Australian outback as dingoes brutally attack buffalo, kangaroos, wild pigs, and even a woman on a Queensland beach. With dingo numbers increasing by 15% since 2015, sheep herds have plummeted by 40%, devastating the livelihoods of pastoralists and spreading risk throughout rural communities. The invasive species stalks the moon, threatening not only livestock but also the delicate balance of nature, as unchecked kangaroos destroy vegetation. Will nature hold its ground, or will the dingoes claim victory? But confronting these predators requires absolute precision, where a neglected gun can be a betrayal. As the SSA's How to Clean and Maintain a Gun program hastily reveals, a barrel clogged with gunpowder residue will cause bullets to stray, turning hunters into prey in an instant. How long has it been since you scrubbed your rifle barrel with a copper brush soaked in solvent, or oiled the metal surface to prevent the dangerous adhesion of rust? This meticulous ritual is more than just maintenance, it's a survival knife. For dingo hunters, the ultimate technique is sniper accuracy from 100 to 200 yards. Aiming the .223 round with precision, quickly taking the sting out of a dusty fight. In the 1980s, rifle hunters in the Australian outback brought down dingo packs, reducing livestock numbers by more than 60% and reviving the booming sheep industry. But this relentless, blindly pursued slaughter has wreaked ecological chaos. The dingo hunting was not wrong, but its reckless, ecologically ill-conceived nature was a grave mistake. If governments were to switch to selective hunting, they could create a tense truce between pastoralist livelihoods and the balance of nature. As for hunting, I have found that night dingo hunting has proven highly effective for ranchers each year. Using night vision scopes, hunters aim at the right location and distance during peak activity hours. However, this high-risk hunting activity requires extreme vigilance. Low light poses a risk of misidentification, which impacts native species. Stray light exposes the hunter, requiring upwind movement and cover. Infrequent checks in remote areas increase errors, disrupting ecosystems. Hunters must work with authorities, use GPS and adhere to regulations, balancing livestock protection with ecological responsibility for sustainable results. Instead of dingo hunting, large, spring-loaded steel-leg traps, often padded to comply with humane regulations, are used along familiar territory trails, camouflaged under foliage and scented bait to attract the animals. Unlike fox traps, dingo traps are primarily used for larger dingoes. They are set in remote bushland due to their larger size, pack behaviour and native habitat, which require closer monitoring. The most effective annual dingo trapping is in late autumn to early spring from March to June, coinciding with the breeding season when dingoes are more active in search of mates and food is scarcer. The government offers a reward for dingo skins to encourage control, minimise initial livestock losses, and demonstrate short-term effectiveness in protecting the rural economy. However, over time, the dingo's adaptations to detect and avoid traps through the persistent scent of humans, obvious environmental disturbances, and learned behaviour from surviving pack members make this method less effective as the population adapts seasonally. So, what do you think is the best solution for the growth of the dingo population? Or should we just keep trapping and waiting in vain? Spanning over 3,500 miles, Australia's dingo fence stands as a steadfast barrier, shielding livestock from dingo predation and protecting ranchers' livelihoods from crippling losses. Yet this iconic structure, visible even from space, carves a deep wound across the outback's ecosystem. Satellite imagery starkly reveals that where dingoes are blocked, kangaroo populations surge, overgrazing vegetation and triggering soil erosion. This imbalance threatens biodiversity, with invasive species like foxes thriving unchecked, endangering native wildlife. The fence also severs indigenous pathways, fracturing cultural ties to the land. So, I ask you, is this measure on the right path? Or is it fundamentally flawed?
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.